Okay, hello everyone. Today it's a very exciting video. I finally received the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette. I got it yesterday. I've been seeing everyone do looks with this and use this already, and I felt like I was the last person to receive this, but here it is in all its glory. Did I break my no-buy for this? Yes, technically I was counting it as a birthday purchase, but yes, I did. I bought it immediately, like as soon as I saw it almost. I took a day to think about it, and I was like, this is the one for me, because I feel like Beauty Bay is just killing it with color stories and releasing palettes that are good quality and affordable. I think they're really doing it the right way, and they're also not releasing, I don't feel like, so many all the time. It appears as though they're actually thinking about what they're doing and putting thought into their releases, and then just releasing good color stories and good palettes. New concept, I know, but I'm excited to try this. Everyone has said that everything that I've seen so far has been like really positive about this. I also got the Utopia palette while I made this order just because it was $14, and for some reason this color story really, like, I was really drawn in by it. I don't know. I probably won't do a dedicated video on this. Maybe I'll use it in a get ready with me or something, but I just like couldn't say no to it, so I ended up getting it. Yeah, but let's just do some live swatches of this Wilderness palette, shall we? Maybe I'll zoom you in a little bit more. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm gonna do today, so let's just see. So the first shade we have is the shade Snow. This is like a bit light beigey color. I don't love that they usually include shades like this, but whatever. It is what it is. Then we have the shade Sky, which is a light matte blue. We have the shade Ray, which is the first shimmer in the palette. It's like a greeny gold duochrome. It's really sparkly. It's super, super pretty. Then we have the shade Twilight, which is a darker matte blue. That didn't swatch the best, but that's, I think, because of me. That's nice. And then we have the shade Ocean, which is a metallic, like, darker blue with a green sparkle to it. All of these shimmers are super pretty. Almost has like a purpliness to it as well. Very sparkly. And then we have the shade Forest, which is a really pretty, like, mid-toned green shade. It's like a forest green, I guess. Really nice. Then we have the shade Breeze, which I'm super excited about. This is a metallic, super sparkly teal. This shade excites me a lot. I think it's so nice. Then we have the shade Mint, which may come as a shock to you, but this is a mint color. And then we have the shade Moss, which is a darker, like, forest green metallic. So nice. Lovely. We have the shade Ivy next, which is a dark green shade. I love that they included a dark blue and a dark green. Then we have the shade Lime, which is a really beautiful, bright lime green metallic shade. And then we have the shade Leaf, which is kind of like a yellow toned green. I think that's super beautiful. Next we have the shade Eucalyptus, which is more of like a mossy green. Definitely also has more yellow to it. Next we have the shade Marigold, which is like a yellow, it's like a mustard shade. If you can hear construction in the background, I'm so sorry, but I've been doing it for like the past so many weeks. It feels like it's been never ending and I can't escape it, and every time I try to film, I swear to God, they just start. so we may just have to brave it together. Next, this is the shade Fossil, which is like a bronzy gold metallic shade. It's super sparkly. I really, really love that. And then I think I'm gonna have to do the last row on my other arm. So this is the first 3 rows. I really am into this color story. I think it's super nice. So let's do the last row on my other arm. So first, in the last row, there's the shade Poppy, which is a beautiful bright red. So excited that there's reds in here. Then we have the shade Raw, which is a little bit of a darker red. Then we have the shade Heat, which is a darker metallic red. I'm so excited to use this shade. It's so beautiful. It has like gold sparkle to it. I love a metallic red. Then we have the shade Earth. This is a mid-toned brown. Personally, I do wish that this brown had been like a really rich, deep brown, and then this palette to me would have been perfect. And then we have the shade Sunrise, which is just like a mid-toned orange, really beautiful. So overall, this is the palette's color scheme. All the shades feel swatching wise like the regular Beauty Bay metallic and matte formula that I've tried. I have the Book of Magic and the Sunset Horizons palettes that I've used. I do have a video. Well, I have a video with both of them. I have only a 3 looks 1 palette with just the Sunset Horizons because the Book of Magic is discontinued, which is a fucking shame. But let's just get started because I feel so excited to play with this palette, and yesterday I was just looking at it and I just kept coming up with different things that I wanted to do. So let's just get into it. I feel very excited. I think I want to do a 2-toned look today. Okay. So I've thought a lot about it. I think I'm gonna do one eye more like minty green and the other eye like more mossy green, and hope and pray that it comes out the way that I want it to. So here we go. Oh, so the first shade that I'm gonna do is the shade Mint. And I'm just gonna take this on a fluffy brush and run this all through my crease. If you're wondering, I've primed my eyes using the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base, and I've set my lids as well. So I pretty much always work on a set, unset eyelids. And a lot of people have seen, oh my god, a lot of people that I've seen have compared this to the vibes of the Melt Muerte palette. And with the blues and the reds, I have to agree. I think it's an extended version of that with like obviously some greens in there. But I think if you missed out on it, this is probably the closest palette that I've seen to that, which is very exciting because that's just the best palette in the world. Now I'm going to go into the shade Leaf, which is this like yellowy green shade right here. And I'm just going to basically do the exact same thing on my other eye with this shade. And I also will say, as someone who's doing their master's in environmental science and geography, I really like the theming of this palette. I'm into it. I love the outdoors, like wilderness theme. I'm very happy about that. I also love the Book of Magic theme, so like, I don't know, Beauty Bay is just doing it super well. I have been super impressed by them and what palettes they've come out with. I just think the theming is on point, the shades are on point. I like the depth that they bring to their palettes. Their color stories are like well thought out and work together so well. I've become a fan. So now on my right eye, I'm going to take the shade Forest, which is this like mid-toned almost like blue toned green. It's like a darker mint almost. And I'm going to just take that through my outer corner and my crease. So far, these shades feel like very typical beauty beige shades, like pretty consistent. And now I'm going to take the shade Eucalyptus on my left eye and do the same thing. So now for this right eye, I'm going to take the shade Twilight, because I was going to take Ivy, but I just think it's going to work better on this eye, and I don't want it to be like too similar. I want them to be like just more distinctly different. So I'm just going to use this to deepen up my outer corner and my crease. I will blend this out, but now I'm going to take the shade Ivy and I'm going to do the same thing with this shade on my left eye. And I'm just going to blend each eye out using the brushes that I used initially. I might go in with a little bit more Twilight just to build this up a little bit, because I want the depths to be equal. So looking at it now, I am going to go back into Twilight and just try to pack this and build it more to try to build the depth up. And you definitely can build this, and it's not like lifting or anything on itself, which is good. And I'm just going to blend this out again using a light hand. I'm not trying to like blend away the depth that I just built. There, I think that's nice. I might even go in with a little bit more Ivy now. I felt like I really built that blue shade up, but that's like a testament to how well these shadows build, which I'm very happy about, because the Twilight shade looks pretty bright in the pan. It's more of like a brighter, darker blue rather than like a true like deep, dark navy. But you definitely can build it, and it builds well. It builds depth, which is always what you want, or at least that's what I want as someone who works with my shadows from light to dark. I want a matte to build, and I want it to be able to build on top of other mattes, personally. All right, that's looking great, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to quickly hop off camera, cut my crease. I'm going to do a half cut crease, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I cut my crease. I think that's as even as I'm gonna be able to get them. It's turning more into like blue and green, but that's okay. So quickly, I'm just going to, which brush is this? Yeah. Quickly, I'm just gonna go back into Forest. I'm going to run over the edge of this in the front part of my crease, and then tap this onto my lid. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this eye with the shade Eucalyptus. And now I'm going to run very lightly over the front of my eye with the shade Twilight. Just to define it more. And then I'm going to use this to re-intensify my outer corner. And do the same thing on this eye, my left eye, with the shade Ivy. For shimmer, now I'm going to take the shade Breeze, which is this beautiful teal. I'm gonna spray that, as always, pretty much, and then I'm just going to place this all over my lid. This is such a pretty shade. It has like a gold sheen to it almost, or a gold sparkle to it, and it's just so reflective and sparkly and beautiful. All of these shimmers have pretty like putty like textures, which I feel like everyone always mentions about the Beauty Bay shimmer formula, but it's still consistent with this palette. It feels very much like a Super Shock shadow, almost like a Super Shock like highlighter from ColourPop. Those vibes, but easy to use. I don't find that they crease on me. Some people I've heard say that, but they just perform like they wear like regular metallic shadows for me personally. stunning. Now I'm going to take the shade Lime, which I'm super excited about. This is like one of the first shades that really drew me into this palette. When I got it, my eye went like immediately to it. It's so vibrant. I'm going to spray that as well. I'm taking that on a different brush. No cross contamination here. And just build this up. Okay, so I'm liking the way this is looking. I think it's gonna come together even a little bit more when I have my lower lash line. So I'm just gonna take the shade Forest and Eucalyptus and blend them with the shimmers on each respective eye. And then I'm gonna go over the top with each transition shade. So I'm gonna take the shade Mint and just blend this all around the edges of my shadow. I actually want to build these up because I feel like I lost particularly this Mint shade in the process of blending. So I'm just gonna like really buff this over the edges to bring that tone, like mint tone, back. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the shade Leaf. I also adore this shade. I think it's so nice. Now for my favorite part always of every look, I'm going to use my fingers and intensify each shade on my lid. This is the shade Breeze. Beautiful. Oh my god, that's just delicious. And then the shade Lime. I mean, look at that shine. That's so nice. I love it. So last for my eyelids, I'm going to take the shade Snow and use that as a brow bone highlight. I'm going to keep it simple for my lower lash line. I'm just going to take each of the shades that I used on my upper lid and just blend it down. So for this eye, I'm going to take the shade Forest and just run this all along my lower lash line and blend it out, connecting it to my top, I was gonna say mascara, eyeshadow. And do the same thing this time with a different brush with the shade Eucalyptus. And then I'm going to take a pencil brush for each eye. Now I'm going into the shade Twilight and I'm just using this to deepen my lash line up. Then I just wipe that off and now I'm going to go into Ivy on my other eye. And then I'm going to take each of my respective transition shades, so the shade Mint, and just really buff this out. Whoops, that was a little bit too much blending on that side. Out of control blending, you guys, that's my thing. And the shade Leaf over here. I'll never get over that comment. That's like my favorite comment ever. Your blending was out of control. I mean, perhaps you're not wrong. And then as the final step, I'm going to take the shade Ray, which is, I'm so excited to use this. I think it's going to be so nice. I'm going to take this on a little flat brush. I think I say this every time I use this brush. And then I'm going to give that one spray because we're going to go big or go home today. And then put this, I don't know if I already said that, on my inner corner. That's delicious. That is stunning. She's beauty and she's grace. Alright, you guys, so those are my eyes basically done. I'm going to hop off camera. I'm going to finish up my eyes. Hopefully the noise outside will be gone by then. Okay, and then I'll be back to give you my overall thoughts, like based on my first impressions, but I'm just going to tell you they're just positive so far. So okay, you guys, this is the finished look. I am so into it. I had so much fun playing with this palette. I cannot wait to do 3 looks with this in a 3 looks 1 palette video. I think this color story is so inspiring to me and I just think it's done so well. Beauty Bay really, like I said in the intro, has been killing it in terms of like just putting out color stories that are unique, that are interesting, that are you know, you can do so much with them. They're so versatile. You can do neutral, you can do super colorful, and their shimmer formula is so beautiful, so sparkly. Their matte formula is so easy to blend. It's buildable. It's just, I'm really into it. I really have loved all of their palettes that I've used. I just am so excited for this. I'm so excited I didn't even put a block in my outer corner. Like, I didn't even feel like I needed that because I'm just like so into the look. I might do that for Instagram, but overall, like, I think this look is so pretty, and I'm just like happy that I was able to use all these shadows. Nothing that I used was like, everything was super consistent across the board. So if you were wondering, like, if you have one of the previous Beauty Bay palettes, I can't obviously speak for the new Romance palette, which I'm actually sad that I never ended up getting. I feel like it came and then it went, because I was like, let me buy that when I buy the Wilderness palette, and it was not on the website. So that's a bit sad, but it's whatever. I don't feel like that color story was as innovative as all the rest of them. But yeah, I just think Beauty Bay is really doing a great job at bringing high, like relatively like high quality, well-performing shadows at an affordable, relatively affordable price point, with just banging color stories. So love this palette. So excited that I got it. So happy that I got it. Worth breaking my no buy. A very good birthday present. I mean, the packaging is like not what you're buying it for. I actually don't hate the packaging, but I actually feel like for some reason, like, holding these palettes is like super satisfying. I love this type of palette, like this cardboard palette, and like the way that palettes sound when they like stack against each other. I think that's like the most satisfying sound. Anyway, that's not important. If you're wondering, on my lips I used the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Endless Cacao because it's the best and I use it like every day, and the MAC Matte Lipstick in Yash because this is the my Supreme nude combo. Love it. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for my 3 looks 1 palette that I'm gonna be working on, I guess, like right as soon as I can. So stay tuned. Let me know if you got this palette, if you're interested in this palette. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What do you think of this look? I think it's like, I'm always scared of two-tone looks because I feel like I don't want it to look, I want it to look cohesive. I want it to look intentional. I don't want it to look like I just put 2 different eye looks on my eyes. I want them to like go together well, and I think I achieved that. I hope I did. Anyway, I'm just gonna go because this is too long. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, you guys. Bye.